Following the World Expo, Disneyland will be coming. The very first and quite sensational response to the project's approval was the soaring land prices in the small town of Changsha, where Disneyland will be. And beyond the village, many people see Disneyland as an economic promise for the development of Shanghai.
The coming of Disneyland is the result of more than 10 years of waiting and negotiating. The idea was hatched in the 1980s, when Zhu Rongji was the mayor of Shanghai. In 1999, former mayor Xu Guangdi also publicly promoted Shanghai's advantages over Hong Kong as the site for a Disneyland because of its location and capacity for visitors. But Disney still chose to build a park in Hong Kong. Last November, the long-awaited Disney project was finally nailed down for Shanghai, and the Development and Reform Commission approved 116 hectares of land for Disneyland in the Pudong New District.
So you do believe that the arrival of Disneyland will be a great stimulus for the economy here in Shanghai?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I originally thought that it would be, right? But it totally depends on how good the Disneyland is. I think it's critical that if you're going to do this, you do it right, and you do it with the right scale that is Disneyland, and that needs to have a breadth and a depth of experience.
Yeah, you raised a very good point. Actually, one of the biggest concerns for the Disneyland here in Shanghai actually is how big this one will be. And we know currently in the world, the smallest Disneyland was in Hong Kong. Actually, you've been there.
You've not been there?
I haven't been there.
There are two things that make Disneyland great. One is that you get lost in the world, all right? So it needs to be big, and you need to be able to really take your time to explore the different corners of it. This Disney World, or Disneyland, I truly think you can walk around it in no more than 10 or 12 minutes, and I'm talking the periphery. So it's tiny. And even if you increase the size by an additional 20%, which is what I've heard is going to happen, it's still going to be quite small. So the idea of disappearing into the Magic Kingdom for a fantasy vacation, it doesn't happen. In fact, if you've ever seen the Cinderella Castle in Disneyland, it's no bigger than the garage of my parents. You know, so it's very small. And the second thing that you need is you need a lot of interaction with Disney characters, and they need to be Sinoized or made China friendly. But at Disneyland Hong Kong, everybody lines up for one snapshot, for one character. So you don't have the sense of character celebration roaming the streets. So everything is not just small, but highly regimented. You know, so it makes for, I think, an experience that's wonderful for the kids. But anybody else is not going to, have an exhilarating time there.